In a city where ancient monuments coexist with the disquieting reminder of wounds that are still raw, what is the fate of the culinary traditions of the people? Can food heal the wounds and revive the spirit of this land? A city that looks untouched by the outside world. A city with an old world charm evident in the tree-lined boulevards, low-rise apartment blocks and the friendly smiles of its people. This is Phnom Penh. Behind me is the Phnom Penh, from which this city takes its name. Now, Phnom in Khmer means hill, and Penh is the name of the lady who found the Buddha statues in the river and installed them in this place. It's hard to believe that less than 30 years ago, this city became a ghost town when it was forcibly evacuated by the Khmer Rouge. This city has seen starvation. It has been witness to people being punished for independent foraging for food. It is also a city where communal eating was enforced in the 1970s. The residents who survived those terrible years began repopulating the city only 25 years ago. But now the city is returning back to normalcy, and the proof lies in a renewed enthusiasm for its traditions of its more ancient and comfortable past, including some very fine Cambodian cuisine. Traditional Khmer cuisine goes back 1,000 years to when the Khmer Kingdom ruled an empire that included most of Southeast Asia. This ancient cuisine was virtually wiped out during the Khmer Rouge's reign that lasted from 1975 to 1979. But now, after almost 30 years, with food production and supplies limping back to normalcy, the city's cafes and markets thrive once more. The city's social heart stretches along its riverside promenade, and every afternoon, just before sunset, hundreds of hawkers set up stalls here selling an extraordinary choice of snacks and fast food to the locals strolling by. This snacking is a mere appetizer for the evening feasts of Khmer food that are served up in the riverside cafes and bustling night markets around the city. Just like its neighbors, rice is the staple of the Khmer diet and forms the main course dish. But it is interesting to note that in Phnom Penh, like in most other parts of Cambodia, there is a huge variety of soups that are served all day. But unlike in the Western tradition, soup is served as an accompaniment to the main course dish and not before the main course. In addition, there are many soup-based dishes that are served even at breakfast. One of these is the Nun Ban Chok Somla Khmer. That is, a rice noodle soup in Khmer-style broth. Breakfast, Phnom Penh style. This is Bansong Man Hoi Te Yukat. Rice noodle seems to form the staple dish here in Phnom Penh. The earlier noodle that I had was cooked in a green curry broth. This one has meat and spring rolls on the side. There's a very Vietnamese Thai twist to it. Food exploration requires bravery. This is why. Crickets. I believe this is yet another Khmer delicacy, but this one's definitely not for the faint-hearted. Cambodians started eating crickets out of desperation during the famine years of the Khmer Rouge in the 1970s, and crickets have remained a part of Cambodia's cuisine since then. In fact, crickets are a much sought-after delicacy these days. The crickets are salted and deep-fried. Tastes just like chicken. Rice may be the staple diet for the people of Cambodia, but bread is something they really love. Bread was introduced to the Khmers by the French when Cambodia was a French protectorate. And not even the devastating cultural purge of Pol Pot, in which all foreign food and customs were banned, could remove the French-infused tradition of eating good baguettes and specialty breads at outdoor cafes.